Hi, and welcome to the F-16C Viper. This is the release day for the Viper, and I'm going to show you how to release the weapons on this plane. I'm going to do a cold dark start, takeoff, landing, and we're going to show the employment of all the weapons, at least how to fire them. Some basics, and hopefully that might help some of you. So let's get started. We're just going to close cockpit, left control and C on the keyboard. Close cockpit. Then I'm going to push F1 on the keyboard to jump into the cockpit view. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to the throttle. I'm going to hold right shift and home. Underneath the throttle is this intercom button. I'm just going to spin that all the way down to the bottom. That's off. Okay, back over to the right panel. I'm going to turn on 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to turn on these two and I'm going to put this alignment to normal. While I'm here, I'll just turn these around for the internal lighting. And up here is 4 switches. 1, 2, 3. This one has to be clicked twice. 1 and then 2. Go over to the left side, we've got the battery over here. We're going to right click it twice, 1 and then 2. Over here is the jet fuel. We're going to put it on start 2, so left click once. Put it on start 1, the plane won't have any afterburner. Start 2 is what you want, so that's done. Just some things while we're over here. The air to air refuel button is here. So if you want to open this little at the top, you're hitting that button here. The other thing is for the flaps, so we're talking about the flaps here. To extend them, the button for that is this button here. So you'll see that that will extend the flaps. So you want to have that as well. Just to show you what buttons else you might need, S on the keyboard does nose wheel steering. So there's that. I'll just quickly go into controls and show you some things. So to put in nose wheel steering, NWS, that's S on the keyboard, that's that one. We want to know what trigger is to drop the bombs. So this one here, this is for the guns. And this one here is the other one. So WPN release button, depress, this is the one you want. And then the only other one which you might need to know is dogfight, DOG by GST. So this one here, dogfight, missile override switch, you want to know what this one is. Hopefully that helps you with some of the buttons that you're going to need to know. Welcome to pause the video or go back and just quickly look over those steps if you're looking for something. Okay, so the plane is pretty much started at this point in time. We can just click this to remove it. We're going to give the plane just a little bit of throttle. Just be aware, look at this, and if it's around about like 1300, 1400, that's all you're going to need. So we're like way high at the moment. So you can see 1400, perfect. You can now taxi. W on the brakes, just to put the brakes down, so you can see that puts the brakes. We can use the nose wheel steering by S. And we'll start heading towards the runway. Some other things, we'll be showing how to use this page. We're going to be looking at these two controls, air to air and air to grounds. And we're going to be looking at, over here, the master arm button. Because we have some stores, or we don't have stores yet, but we're going to put it onto Cat 3 and we're going to put some stores on this plane. So we're still on the ground, so we'll get that happening. Going to bring up this menu, and you can have a look at what's on the plane as options as well. It's going to go to 6. You can see that's the bombs, options, fuel tanks, rockets. I'm just going to put fuel tanks on here. Same on the other side. And then we'll put on some bombs. I'm just going to put on a snake eye. And on the other side, I am going to put an air. Then we're going to put on some air-to-air missiles. So I'll put some Cs on the internal. And on the external here, we'll put on a 9X and a 9M. I'll click OK. Actually, well, one other thing we could do is the tracer rounds. If you want to see where your bullets are going, but in this case, I'll just be showing you the impact on the ground. It says the canopy is not closed, so if that is the case, have a look over here. You can see that, just click that, go back over, and that warning is gone. Just give you a look at the interior. Looks absolutely amazing. Now, if you're wondering why I did turn this intercom switch around before, we're basically turning that sound off. These are the external lights down here. Switch them on, but they won't do a lot at this point in time. Okay, so our rearming is now complete. We'll move forward with getting ourselves into the air. Now, this one here, SYM, push that all the way to the top. You'll notice all this comes up. And you can turn the others up as well if you like. Okay, let's give it a little bit more throttle. Parking brake, if you need to know, is over here. We can switch that to off at this point in time. We've got a speed here, and we've got our altitude here. The speed will only come up once we're moving above 50 or so. Got our radios here. Just going to keep turning it around. Cut the throttle back. Put on the brakes. Now I'm going to push S on the keyboard to turn off my nose wheel steering. Going to hold down the brakes, give it a little bit of throttle. Release the brakes and put it onto full throttle. Just watching the speed. We're at 60 or so here. The nose wheel steering can be turned off. If you haven't done so already, you're at 180, pull back. And then push G on the keyboard to put the gear up. Have a look. And you'll see that the flaps will retract by themselves when you retracted the gear. Look down here and you'll see it's on normal. If it's not, make sure that this is on normal. So there's also an afterburner option, detent button. So let's have a look at that. Let's go into here. I'll just put in, see this, cycle afterburner detent. So make this sure that you know what this button is. Cycle afterburner detent. So once we're in the air, if we now just tap that button and then push our throttle, it'll apply that. It'll no longer use the afterburner. We want to go back to it. We can just push that button, put it into afterburner, or go straight back into the afterburner. So we're going to turn that off. There we go. You can see some of our radar contacts here. So there's that with our radar. But what we're planning to do is show you just how to shoot the weapons. I'm not really trying to shoot anything down at this point in time. So it will start up looking like this. What we're going to do is we're going to push HSD, one click here. And up at the top right, we have SMS, left click there. Okay, now we've got all of our weapons. What we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top here and we're going to put on air to air. We're going to go over to right here where it says master arm and turn that to on with a right mouse button. So we have air to air, one left click, master arm. And over here, what we did was hit HSD and we went to SMS. Now, once you got those two enabled, you'll notice there's a new button which comes up the top here, INV. Click that once. Now we can switch between guns, which means guns are activated, or the missiles. We're in air-to-air mode. We can change between what missile we want to shoot by clicking here. So 9X, 9LM, 120C, etc. So let's just show that we can shoot a 9X. So we're going to shoot our weapon release button. It's not the trigger, it's the different button to the gun. So it's a weapon release button. See, that has fired off the rail. So now we've got the LM. We're going to fire that one. That one is fired. Got a 120C. Say we don't want to shoot the 120C. We want to go back. We can see that we've got 0. 9x is left, so it says 0A. We can see it's got 0 LMs, so we're going to have to shoot the 120C. We can see how many are available. By 2, available, 2A. So I'm going to shoot that one now. I'm going to shoot the other one. So that's the release of the air-to-air missiles. Now we're just going to show the air-to-ground. I'm going to click once here, air-to-ground. Now you'll see that the HUD symbology will change. Got to go down to here. Now just one thing you might want to learn is the autopilot. So if we go over to here, we can click this once and we can click that once, and that will just hold the altitude and the roll angle. We will go back to here. Now we're going to click on HSD to show it from the beginning, HSD, SMS. In here, we're going to go to INV, one left click. And then in here, we can see the bombs that we have available. So we can see what we've got it in mode. So CCIP, CCRP, DTOS, LAD, and manual. CCIP and CCRP are both operational. So we'll go just choose CCIP. We can do high drag or low drag, whatever is needed. We can change it to different profiles. We can drop one pair or we can drop one single. How many repeat of them, the distance between them, and the actual bomb. So here you can see the 1M82S and the 1B49. So we can choose between them by just clicking here between them, depending on which one we want to drop. So now we've done that, we're just going to demonstrate that we can do that. So we could choose a target on the ground, but I'm more just trying to show that the process of actually releasing this at this point in time. So we'll just go to the external view and we're going to push the weapon release. Sorry, we'll just go back to here. Put it onto CCRP. And we can see that is now released. Down there, and we can see our bomb. And we'll go back to the other one. So this was the other one. So we can now see that it says 0 of that one. We can see over here 1 of this one, 82S. So we are going to just choose the 182S. We'll just jump to our external view just so you can see that it's coming off. We can see that one's launching, and we can see that one's launching. So that's those ones. Now say we've only got guns left, we want to shoot guns, we're going to air. Still, the entire time I've just got the master arm on. I'll just show you what we're doing from the start here. You can just click on SMS, you can click on inventory. You can click on guns, if you can see here, and you can see there's a 51 gun. It's ready, and we're on gun mode. So now we're just going to bring ourselves down towards the ground, and we'll put some rounds into the ground. Going descending very, very quickly here. Just going to put my air brakes out because we don't need to be going this fast. You can see the air brakes out. Okay, so I'm just going to hold down the trigger. Just watch the ground so you can see the ground get impacted. You can see the ground's been impacted and we'll just pull up. We'll retract our air brakes. left control and C, and that's all the deployments. So that's the bombs, that's the guns, and that's the missiles. Let's have a quick look at where we are. We're going to go back to here. So we'll start heading that way, and we'll show a landing. Now you can tell if we've still got guns. You can see all the different inventory. Got TK-370, fuel tanks, and then the guns. You can click swap, and you can put this information over to here. You got this over here then. You can adjust your radios. So if you're just hitting COM 1, you've got UHF, so you can just put in like whatever you need. And you'll notice UHF 261. Just check where we are. We're about here, so we're going to be on target at this point in time. Yeah, this video was made on release day, and as you can tell, I haven't put the ejection controls down, so it would be a good idea to do that before you took off. This will flip. We'll just try and zoom in so you can see what's on there. Frequencies. Doesn't seem to match what's actually happening. Got 261 there, but there is potential. So we'll turn our master arm off. One other thing you could look at was just the dogfight mode. So there's the dogfight button. If you push that button, change the HUD symbology. So you'll notice it will say dogfight down here. Then you can let go if you like. So we'll see if we can start to see the runway. It's going to be out in that direction. Still a little way out. Just check this. So I'm going to turn this off. Put it onto the middle. That one's definitely in the middle. I'd rather show you a full video with all the steps rather than just a 2-minute video with just the exact details, because sometimes you need to know everything. The 2-minute video is just missing something somewhere. So by showing the whole process from takeoff to landing, should be able to pick everything up. Definitely what I have been needing with a lot of the videos. One other thing, which we should have done on takeoff, over here you've got this. You just can move it upwards with the mouse wheel and just right click it or left click it and we'll switch that array. And then you just want to have this matching with that. So, and ideally doing that before takeoff. That's another thing which you might want to add to your startup. Just while we're waiting to get a little bit closer, we'll just do a last look over to. Okay, so now we're going to have a good look for this runway. Okay, so I do believe we've got the runway over here. Over there. It doesn't look like a lot from over here, but that's certainly what it's going to be. We'll have a little bit more look at our runway. We've only got one runway. We've got runway 13. Got two. So the one on the right we don't want. We want the one on the left. Looking at landing here. Not that one. Okay, so let's line ourselves up. So some things we're going to do. We're going to bring up the brakes. So right shift and B. Brakes. Next thing we're going to look at is our gears, but that's just G on the keyboard. But we will look at our flaps. So down here, we've got alt flaps. We're going to put that on to extend. You'll notice flaps here coming out. Got those two things set. We'll get ourselves back lined up over here. Now we're going to look at our speed. We can see our speed's about 250, altitude 46. We're going to bring our gears out. And line ourselves up. At the moment we're a little fast. I would like to get on the ground relatively quickly. So landing speed, just under 180. And with this plane, definitely feel free to flare. Put it softly on the runway. We're well in control at this point. So once you're around 60, you can put the nose wheel steering on just to S. Just watch this, not too much more above 1400. If you're feeling you're going too fast, just back off. But yeah, about 1300, 1400 is great. Taxi speed around corners, about 10. On a straight, about 15. See, I'm still going relatively fast. But we've got it in control. Just go around here, and we'll park it under this. So we'll back our throttle off. Applying the brake. Okay, so we can just jump to our external view. We can see our plane. Hope that helps. Feel free to subscribe and like the video, and have a great day.